and take up their place at Lord's. That is the prize for one of these two teams today in this semi-final of the Royal London One Day Cup. Good atmosphere already building here at Headingley. There were between 5,000 and 6,000 pre-sold tickets. It's a glorious day, as I said, encouraging a walk-up crowd, basking in the sunshine. It's still chilly, 10-11 degrees or so, but forecast to be much warmer this afternoon. Pitch looks good, brand new track that looks a little green from here, but when you get close to it, is pretty dry and looks a perfect batting surface. Adam Lyth on strike, and James Fuller with the ball in his hand. Rob Key alongside me. Rob, you were out there for the toss. You're a little bit surprised that Gloucestershire chose to bowl first?
Yeah, I was, purely from what you're saying about the pitch, really. Here, we'll have a look at it. You can see there's a few marks on it where it is. It's a little bit green when we're looking at it, but when you get up close, it's pretty dry out there. And generally when you're on a dry surface, you think that you want to bat first because batting's going to be harder second time round. But Michael Klinger said that when they've been here in the past, they've generally done well doing it this way.
First runs for Yorkshire, edged away past second slip and away for four. Doesn't matter that it's off the edge, it's appreciated by this growing crowd here at Headingley.
And this will show you there's a little bit of pace in it with this new ball, because an edge like this sometimes on a slow pitch doesn't go, but this has hit Lyth's edge. He's almost played with soft hands as well, and it's beaten third man pretty easily actually. He's not that wide, so a little bit of pace with this new ball out of the surface as well. Fuller's an impressive youngish bowler. He's 25 years old, but most of this Gloucestershire attack is a fairly inexperienced young attack that's done really well for them.
Be a wide down the leg side, signalled by Jeremy Lloyds, who's out in the middle at this Kirkstall Lane end. Very experienced umpire now, Jeremy Lloyds, 60 this year, and has been umpiring for 18 seasons. Neil Mallender is his partner, equally experienced. Ooh, bit of swing, and that's down the leg side, be another wide, so a little bit of ill discipline here from Fuller. Decent pace, 86, 87 miles an hour, but accuracy lacking initially. I think you have to say, Rob, that one of the reasons that Gloucester have chosen to chase is that batting is their strongest suit. I mean, they're hugely dependent on Klinger, but they fancy themselves chasing because batting is their better.
Yeah, and it's also this format now with the rule changes that have been in this year, but as well with the two new white balls, it actually becomes so hard to know what a good score is. You basically stand over, you say to Klinger at the toss, to say it's very hard to know what a good score is. You could get 350 and a side chase it with 3 overs to spare, or you could get 250 and be right in the game. And you have to make that decision when you're batting first, when you're sent in. Lees and Lyth will have to make a call on what they think a good score is, and that can range from 220 to 350. It's very hard to read.
Another wide. Cheers and jeers, not going to settle young Fuller down at all.
The Yorkshire crowd as well, not normally a crowd to let people off either.
Now on your back straight away. Don't appreciate inaccuracies or poor cricket.
Even when you're on their team as well. I remember playing a test match for England here, dropping a couple of catches and coughing it a fair bit.
Well, the legitimate deliveries we've seen so far have done nothing to suggest that there's anything in it really for the bowler at the moment. Lyth looking very comfortable. Even that 4 he scored was played with a little deft touch. I don't think it was a genuine edge. Bit of width and a good piece of fielding. Saved a certain boundary. Benny Howell at backward point.
Yeah, just sits up this, and that's the problem when you slightly off line and length here at Headingley. It just sits up nice. Even if there's a little bit in it at times with the new ball, you go back of a length, it just sits up, and you feel like that little bit of extra bounce just rises onto the middle of the bat. Lovely. Alex Lees is a fine young player.
Lees on strike. First ball, that's the first over, completed 8 without loss.
Yeah, I think, was it last year we probably showed the championship game at Notts that Yorkshire ended up winning the championship. I think that was last year, and you watch this lad play, I think he might have got an 80 odd. And you thought that Alex Lees looked a class act. His technique at time, he hasn't had this greatest year, but sometimes that often happens when you starting out, people work you out a little bit. But actually, I think technically and the time that he seems to have, he seems like he's going to be a really good player.
David Payne, left arm medium fast. Seems an age now since we saw him on Sky Sports take those 5 wickets and 6 balls at Chelmsford. 2010 it was. Lithe on strike. Just run through the playing conditions for this Royal London One Day Cup. 50 overs a side, of course. 3 different power plays, 1 to 10, with 2 fielders outside the 30 yards. So if you don't have to have any close catches, power play 2 for a substantial part of the innings, 11 to 40, 4 fielders outside, and the third power play 5 fielders outside, an extra fielder allowed out in the last 10 overs. 20 overs constitutes a match during the knockout stage. We're blessed with glorious weather today, so that won't come into it. We have a new white ball at each end, so 25 overs per ball. Get a free hit for any no ball called. It's either overstepping or bowled overhead height. Little bit of swing, but gloriously played by Lyde. Right out of the middle of the bat, and confidence-inducing 4 through the covers.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the sort of shot that just gets you going, and you just settle into what could be a very good knock on a good surface through the ball. 2 fall from Payne, and that's the problem. You just can't afford on a good surface to float the ball. You've got to hit the pitch hard, but Lyde looks to be in good touch.
He looks to be confident as well, doesn't he? Looks to be sure of his shots. That's going to be a wide down the leg side. The indisciplined catching between the 2 opening bowlers. You see this as an important time for Lyde. It's almost a foregone conclusion that he won't get picked for the winter tour for England. Is that irrespective of what he does in the next fortnight?
Well, you get that feeling it is, but it won't hurt getting runs. Bangs out a big 100 or big 100 here, and it's not going to do him any harm. I don't think it's absolutely set in stone. They know exactly which way to go with the test opener, if they are going to make a change, whether Moeen Ali goes up to the top of the order because they want to get in double spin. Adil Rashid has bowled well so far in this one-day series.
Whether they promote one of the 50 over openers, Hales or Roy. Do you see that happening?
Well, you'd think that the toss-up is between Moeen Ali or Alex Hales, from if you believe what everything said in the media.
Waiting!
I suppose the problem they've got is the fact they are going out to UAE, whereas at Abu Dhabi, and playing against Pakistan, and then it's South Africa afterwards. So you might not necessarily have the same opener if you go Moeen Ali for South Africa that you might have playing against Pakistan.
In the air, catches the cry, but it's gone flying down to third gully area. 6 off the over, 14 without loss. Ly's looking to dominate the strike. Lees has only faced a solitary ball. Say that is Ly's area of strength and also area of weakness. He loves to score through the offside off the back foot, but just tend to just flirt at the ball outside the off stump, perhaps a little bit too often, certainly in the longer form of the game. Two's the cry for that. That's just angled away through backward point. Really good dive down at third man. Norwell doing the sprinting and diving. Really good work from him.
Yeah, good work, but again, another example of how good a surface this is. Just leans on this ball, really. Good length, nice easy pace pitch there off what we see, and good piece of fielding, fast outfield.
Gets Lees on strike, that 3.
This is a problem now. Even though they've won the toss and had a bowl, you're going to have to start working out the way to go with the ball. You start off, you think, we'll try and nick them off, hit a heavy length pretty hard, but if anything, this surface looks like you might have to just go for a bit of containing, where you try and hit middle stump, change your pace. With a dry surface, you might get a bit of grip out of it.
Yeah, persevering with a couple of slips. Don't have to have those 2 close catches, but Klinger, I think quite rightly, initially sticking with them.
Work.
You'll be able to tell me, Rob, why Gully's out of the game in one-day cricket. It just seems a good position to me, especially with a right-arm bowler bowling to left-handers.
Yeah, I suppose because generally in one-day cricket you want the bowler to bowl gun barrel straight. You don't want him to give any width. So if you're bowling straight, you'd think the widest your nick should go for a catch is second slip. You just feel it offers you a better covering of where you want it with your third man out. Got more chance. You almost, if you've got your gully man in there for the bowler, you think it's for a slash where he's going to carve the ball away. So you generally want to sort of roll the dice and give him that bit of width to play the shot to. So you stay pretty straight and hope the nicks go pretty fine.
Down to third man. Easy single gets Lees off the mark. Good pace from Fuller. He's been up in the high 80s. Ball before last was 89 miles an hour. Oohs and ahs as this has flashed away backward a point. 3 overs gone, 20 without loss. A little bit of breaking news for you. Shane Watson, the Australian all-rounder, has announced his retirement from Test match cricket. So, not entirely unexpected, but Watson has made that decision this morning, and it has just been announced. It's another one of Australia's top-notch Test cricketers announces his retirement. 59 Test matches for Watson. Averaged 35 with the bat, 33 with the ball. Only 4 Test hundreds. I think it'd probably be fair to say that never quite found his ideal batting position, or his ideal position in the side.
A decent sit. Pitch a bit harder that time, Payne. Comes into the left-hander, but then just leaves him and beats the outside edge. There you go, hit the pitch hard. Yeah, you'd think Shane Watson, when you watch him play, even he would think that those statistics, he could have been a lot better almost. He was a fine player. Every time you watch him play, you didn't see many chinks in his technique, apart from towards the end with the LBW, but he was a good player to watch.
Yeah.
Yes, he was part of the Australian eternal quest for an all-rounder, wasn't he? Never quite sure whether he should be batting at 6 and bowling, or opening the batting or batting at 3 and doing a sort of Jacques Callis role. Never quite attained those heights.
Yeah, interestingly, almost everything looked like he was a number 6, but his time where I thought he looked at his best was when he was opening the batting in Test cricket.
Playing.
To drive through that cover region. Blythe, the last ball of the previous over, flashing this through the covers, would have been a spectacular catch from Howell. Just a fingertip push over the bar. Again, it's where Blythe just looks a little bit suspect.
Look at the air time. We get to see that. It's a bit harsh saying it was a drop, but just have a look at the hang time in slow motion as he gets up. Gets up high as well. Gets a good hand on it. It was creamed as well through backward point.
Well, not shine, flashing hard, Adam Blythe. Been a good over this from Payne, just 2 singles so far.
Right.
That's how it stays. 22 without loss.